Coming up on 6 News, we'll tell you why a local prison could soon close its doors for good. And we'll have a look back on the life of a legendary journalist who passed away late last night.
Now, from your local news leader, this is 6 News.
The future of a Michigan prison is in jeopardy. It's our top story at 11. A State House committee is considering a budget proposal that could close Michigan's oldest prison and move inmates to a privately owned facility. 6 News reporter Nick Perot explains where the prison is and why the state's corrections organization says closing it would be a mistake. Nothing is set in stone at this point. The legislature will continue to work on the budget later this month. Well, one man is dead after an early morning car accident in Shiawassee County. It happened near Ovid by the intersection of Krause Road and Austin. Officials say a 37-year-old man went off the road and hit a tree. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Tonight, investigators are still trying to figure out what caused the accident. Well, a Michigan couple will be in court this week for their possible role in last month's gruesome murder of an Ohio woman. According to our media partners at WHMI, Andrew and Candace Forney of Fenton are being charged with abusing a corpse and tampering with evidence. Investigators say they don't believe the couple killed the 21-year-old Ohio woman, but did help hide, transport, and dump her body parts. Well, a new recall effort against Governor Snyder could be approved tomorrow. The group Michigan Rising is leading the effort. Last month it filed the recall language, and tomorrow it will either be approved or denied in a clarity hearing. Now, if it is approved, the group will have to collect 500,000 signatures to get the recall on the November ballot. And if you plan on having a say in the upcoming May elections, you might want to make sure you're registered. The deadline to register to vote is tomorrow. That registration will allow you to vote not only in the local issues in May, but also in the state and national elections later this year. To register, you must be at least 18 years old and a U.S. citizen. You can stop by any Secretary of State's office to fill out the paperwork. Well, asparagus farmers around the state want your help. They're looking to hire hundreds of workers to harvest this year's crop, which has ended up coming a little earlier than normal thanks to all this warm weather we've had. Right now, there are more than 200 job openings. If you're interested and want to find out more, head to WLNS.com and click on the Scene on 6 icon. We have a link set up there. Well, I ran outside for a bit and I saw some raindrops, so let's head on over to the Weather Center and check in with David Young for your first look at weather. David? Thank you, David. Well, tonight we remember a University of Michigan graduate and legendary journalist. Mike Wallace died Saturday night at the age of 93. He was the first correspondent ever hired for 60 Minutes. Drew Levinson talked with one of Wallace's longtime colleagues about his life and his impact. Wallace's last 60 Minutes interview came in January 2008. He interviewed Major League Baseball pitcher Roger Clemens about his alleged steroid use. 60 Minutes will dedicate its next broadcast Sunday night to Wallace, which you can watch right here on WLNS TV 6. Well, Christians across mid-Michigan celebrated their religion's holiest day today. Many started this Sunday with church and continued the celebration with a big family Easter dinner. But as Emerald Murrow reports, lots of people decided to skip their traditional home-cooked meal and let the experts take charge. I have to admit, I was one of those people who went out today too. Well, restaurant managers say they start planning for their Easter brunch at least 2 months in advance. Well, coming up on 6 News at 11, a shooting spree in Tulsa leaves 3 people dead and 2 critically injured. Now, officials believe they have the men responsible in custody. Tulsa residents are resting easier tonight after police arrested 2 men in connection with a deadly shooting spree. 3 people died and 2 others are in critical condition. Susan McGinnis has the latest. Police say all the victims were shot with a small caliber weapon. Meanwhile, gas prices are up again. The national average for a gallon of gas has jumped 4 cents over the past 2 weeks. That's according to the Lundberg survey of fuel prices. The average price for a gallon of fuel is $3.97. Of all the cities surveyed, Chicago has the highest average at $4.45 a gallon. Well, still ahead on 6 News at 11, meteorologist David Young will join us with your complete Storm Tracker 6 forecast. But first, here's a look at tonight's winning lotto numbers. You're watching 6 News at 11 on WLNS. That wind got pretty brutal today, didn't it?
Yeah, saw a couple limbs come down too, gusting close to 40 at times.
Oh, gosh. Well, thank you so much, David.
Sure.
We have Kevin with us too for sports. Had some Big wins for Tiger baseball again.
I have a more important question. Who are you people? I'm the only regular weekend person.
Hey.
We heard the
Where
cool
did
kids
everybody
were on
go?
the weekend, so we came to hang out with you.
We're making the show
I
good today.
appreciate that. Thank you so much. You know what we've been trying